Sometimes when I'm hearing from Secretary of Defense to others, they're saying that it was a surprise. I'm shocked. It was not a surprise. It was clear as a day that it was coming.
Let's move into the withdrawal of U.S. and NATO troops. Where were you when that happened?
I was in Kabul.
You were in Kabul?
I was in Kabul, yes.
Did you have any warning that that was coming?
I knew it for a couple of years before it happened. I knew that Afghanistan is on the verge of collapse because all the signs is indicating that such tragedy would happen. Shawn, unfortunately, the thing is that it was sometimes when I'm hearing from Secretary of Defense to others, they're saying that it was a surprise. I'm shocked. It was not a surprise. It was clear as a day that it was coming. And if nobody else, which I'm sure they did, I personally warned Mr. Khalilzad, the U.S. Embassy, some presidents and officials which I met in Europe, and also regional players and countries. I told them specifically that all the signs that indicates that Afghanistan is going to collapse. It is tragic, it is devastating, it will be a huge blow to everything we achieved for the past 20 years, all those sacrifices we made and we gave with blood and sweat and treasure. It will be devastating. Please pay attention. This peace process that you're going forward with, it is not a peace process. This is handing over Afghanistan to the terrorism. The peace process is unconditional. The withdrawal is unconditional. And nothing is in the right place, and the Taliban are just waiting to take over. And everything so far has been doing, it demoralized everything else. The best thing, at least if you wanted to leave, I told this specifically to Mr. Khalilzad, if you guys wanted to leave, if you guys wanted to leave people of Afghanistan behind, very well then, at least do not elevate our enemy. Do not demoralize us with your negotiation with them. Just leave. It's okay. We fought before all alone, like my father. We'll fight again. However, with what you do, you're holding our hands tight and you elevate them. And I'm sure one day you will blame us. And that's exactly what happened.
That's enraging. That's enraging. Did you have, were you previous to the date that we withdrew?
I knew that it is happening on September, 1st of September. I was aware when it was announced, but before that I didn't know about the exact dates. Yeah. But I knew in my heart that 2021 was a devastating year for people of Afghanistan.
It's my understanding that France offered you an extraction to go to France during that withdrawal.
Yes.
Why didn't you take that?
Not just France, many countries they offered. Well, I remembered the faces that I looked at those eyes and faces and told them about freedom, about my father, about democracy, about human rights, about women's rights, about fighting terrorism. How could I just leave them after all those things I was preaching to them? And what would I do outside? I gave it a very hard thought nights before the collapse, and I knew it would happen. And just like my father, I was prepared to give the ultimate sacrifice. To be very frank, because I knew how everything is completely gone and how Taliban will be left with billions of dollars of equipment. And at the end, it will be a valley against basically a country. And all odds would be pointing out to our demise and our death. I just didn't want to be alive to see my country go this path. And but unfortunately, that didn't happen. And I was alive, and I get to see what happened, which is heartbreaking, and a much bigger pain to me than death occurred to me, which is witnessing my country going to this situation. And but in my opinion, because I believe I am a man of God and I believe in God, I believe that He kept us alive for a reason. And that's why ever since, my purpose is to retake my country and bring back the integrity that has been taken from my country.
I believe that too. I believe
Thank
that
you.
too. Can we go into some of the things that happened right after the withdrawal? Because Americans only saw, which was disastrous enough as it is, they only saw they only saw snippets of the withdrawal. They saw the Afghans falling from the C-17 planes, trying to latch on. They saw Americans that were blown up at Abbey Gate. They saw babies being killed on razor wire fences. They saw people giving up their kids, just trying to get their kids to safety. What we didn't see, and what nobody really knows about, is what happened after the cameras left. What happened after the U.S. was gone? Can you go into that a little bit?
Well, 4 things happened, Shawn. First, a nation got a devastating blow. 14th of August, a girl of Kabul in Afghanistan had a world of dreams and hopes for her future. She went to school and she came back and she was thinking, okay, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 5 years, 10 years, I'll become doctor, I will become engineer, I will become politician, I will become head of state, I will be this and that. First thing happened, that the dream of my people got shattered. First. Second thing that happened, it was the trust. People of Afghanistan filled with their heart and with their skin how they can be abandoned overnight and be forgotten and be handed over to the same enemy that we have been fighting for 20 years together. The third thing that the world didn't witness was the catastrophic and terrifying terrors that Taliban did to the people. Girls went on the street. They brutally destroyed it. They threw them in jail. They raped them. They defamed them. And they destroyed something that even the communists, even the Russians didn't do such atrocity. But on the other hand, another thing happened. Some people didn't give up. Some people didn't care if they were alone. They fought. Even if they were little, if they had nothing, they fought with their heart, with their soul. And still to this day they are fighting. Women on the street, even they were being thrown to jails, they continued protesting and standing. To this day they are doing. And there were some guys, former Afghan army, special forces, and regular citizens. They went to the mountains. They didn't care if no longer there is a friend supporting them from the air or on the ground. They were with themselves, but they stood for the values that the world left them and abandoned those values. They fought, and to this day they are fighting all alone. So these 4 things happened when the cameras left, when the attentions left. But the people of Afghanistan, with all those terrors, is still very much hopeful, is still very much passionate to take back their country, and they're fighting.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, Share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.